Hi everyone, my name is Amy Gildesgaard. I'm a social work major. I'm going into my senior year this fall. I'm taking this class because I needed one more elective. Um, and I've talked a lot about, or I've studied a lot of this stuff in little pieces here and there throughout my education, but I've never actually committed a whole class to gender. So I really wanted to um, just kind of dive into the subject just for fun. And I'm really glad I did because I'm learning a lot and I'm really appreciating the importance of power and just feminist theory in general, especially for my major. Social work major's main goal is to empower the lives of vulnerable populations. So, obviously, groups that are in the subordinate group are generally in those vulnerable populations. So, this has been really good for me on a personal level taking this class, even though it wasn't technically required of me. Um, Going to my concept map, I think for me to fully understand what we're diverting from, like we can't have subordinate groups without a dominant group. And so my concept map moves from the left to the right. I put the dominant culture, or basically wherever the power is held, on the far left. Just for my own sake and understanding that everything that we're talking about in gender is highlighting groups that do not generally fit the mold in the dominant group or in where the power is held. And so I put that group first, and then just like we're learning in class, I put the feminism next and how it is broken down into these four areas of sexual orientation, social class, race, and gender. Um, Obviously, we talked about this a lot last week and this week in the reading. When we're looking at feminism, we're not obviously looking at just females. I think it's important, and I noted this a lot in my writing from 2 weeks ago, that at the time when feminism started breaking out, we didn't have a big voice for people that didn't fit into, male female sexual orientation, and we didn't have a big voice for different races and different genders. And so breaking off from feminism, what I like about it is we're highlighting other groups that have not had their recognition and that are considered minorities then and today. And as you can see, I've got arrows going back and forth to the big first orange square, which is intersectionality. And as complicated as it is, it also makes so much sense. As I'm reading the textbook, I'm just seeing and understanding how much there is overlap and how each of these 3 or 4 peach bubbles really have their own intersectionality, and those are set up really by society in a lot of cases, based on systems and institutions that have had power over the subordinate groups. And so the reason I stuck identity on the far end and its interplay with intersectionality is that at the end of the day, all of these people that find themselves in the subordinate group will get to choose how they identify themselves. And that's an ever flowing, ever changing reality for some people, and making space for changes and for fluxes, and realizing that putting people in categories and boxes is really a dumbing down of who they are, first of all. The book talked a lot about census and how we record people's censuses every year, and how sometimes certain groups don't fit into certain boxes. And so there really is a lot of overplay and a lot of intersectionality, I guess is the best word, between all of these identities, and that it's an ever-flowing, ever-changing concept. So that is my concept map for gender so far and what I'm learning this semester. Thank you for listening.